While Donald Trump may not be in jail at this particular moment in his life, one of the things he's clearly not learned is when you make a mistake, let's not make it again. No, Donald Trump's had to settle out of court many, many times over the very same thing because he is consistently arrogant and hubristically idiotic. His standard gameplay, as we know, especially in this breaking story, is to denigrate, damage, destroy, and dismiss, except for the fact that when it comes to the First Amendment and when it comes to this country in this moment in time, Donald Trump better begin to realize that when you screw up once with a late night host, you might not want to try to do it again because it's only going to do worse. I'm going to show that story to you in just a few seconds. But Seth Meyers is someone, formerly of SNL, that has had absolutely no apologies for the way he speaks to and about the President of the United States. This.
You want answers!
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Exhausted and seemingly despondent, Donald Trump is closing out his campaign with rambling speeches to dwindling crowds, threatening violence, making baseless allegations of cheating, floating the possibility of banning vaccines, and complaining about Saturday Night Live. Is it that he misses me on Update? Oh, well then, if it's not that, then him.
You can't handle the truth!
Oh yeah, he keeps going.
For more on this, it's time for a closer look. You're like me, you've been searching desperately for at least some small indication of how things might go. Holy the only thing more shocking than Harris winning Iowa would be Harris winning Mar-a-Lago, and then Mar-a-Lago winning TripAdvisor's best place to host a wedding that won't be interrupted by a former president giving a long speech about Arnold Palmer having a horse.
You can't handle the truth!
Oh, there's more.
I have no idea if the Iowa poll is right or wrong, but it seems to have really rattled Trump, who complained about it all weekend.
The polls are just as corrupt as some of the writers back there. It's called suppression. They suppress, and it actually should be illegal.
You can't handle the truth!
Oh no, he cannot handle the truth.
All this guy does is whine. He sounds like someone slowly letting air out of a balloon.
You can't handle the truth!
Also, why does he keep saying you can make the polls sing like he's a private eye from a 1950s radio play? You listen up, you dirty rat. You better give it to me straight because the next pollster who walks in that door is going to make you sing.
Yeah, that's not something dipstick Donald likes to hear.
You can't handle the truth!
About how roving gangs of transgender prisoners are coming with military-style weapons to occupy your suburban neighborhood, outlaw your hamburgers, and force you to drive a Prius with a bumper sticker that says science is real. But, you know, hey, but maybe you guys, maybe I'm not being fair. Maybe Trump has some soaring words for his supporters as well. Let's see his closing message.
You can't handle the truth!
And with that, from this breaking story where once again, Donald Trump tries to go out in public and tell this country that when you speak poorly of him, he wants to arrest you. Look at this breaking story. Trump, 79, claims it's illegal for late-night host to mock him. The president is once again shouting at the TV. President Donald Trump has lashed out at yet another late-night TV show host for failing to fall at his feet in groveling praise. Seth Meyers of NBC may be the least talented person to perform live in the history of television, Trump wrote on Truth Social on Saturday. In fact, he may be the worst to perform live or otherwise. In his A Closer Look segment on Thursday's Late Night with Seth Meyers show, Meyers ran a segment called Seth Translates Trump to English, in which he riffed on a speech Trump gave to U.S. Navy troops stationed off the coast of Japan this week. If anyone dares to say anything less than glowing, Trump loses his ST, Meyers said, explaining the president's fury with Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer's negative review of his East Asia trip. Trump thinks that if you say something mean about him, that's treason, Meyers added. It's not the first time the 51-year-old comedian has come under fire from the president. In January, Trump blasted Meyers with another late-night Truth Social rant, deriding him as Marble Mouth Meyers and merely a slot filler for the scum that runs Comcast. In August, Trump again went for Meyers, complaining on Truth Social that there was a sick rumor going around that fake news NBC had extended Meyers' contract. Meyers' contract was extended in May 2024 through 2028, suggesting that being anti-Trump might actually be against the law. Almost proving his point, Trump raged against Meyers. Why does NBC waste its time and money on a guy like this? no talent, no ratings, 100% anti-Trump, which is probably illegal. Trump's Truth Social post about Seth Meyers reads as follows. Seth Meyers of NBC may be the least talented person to perform live in the history of television. In fact, he may be the worst, in all caps, to perform live or otherwise. I watched his show the other night for the first time in years. In it, he talked endlessly about electric catapults on aircraft carriers, which I complain about not being as good as much less expensive steam catapults. On and on he went, a truly deranged lunatic. Why does NBC waste its time and money on a guy like this? In all caps, no talent, no ratings, 100% anti-Trump, which is probably illegal. He has no ratings, talent, or intelligence, and the personality of an insecure child, Trump continued, before vowing to get to the bottom of why the network would extend this dope's contract. Meyers said it was kind of nice to be on the president's radar following Trump's assaults on fellow late-night hosts, including Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Fallon. In July, Trump celebrated the cancellation of the #1 rated late-night show, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which was announced swiftly after its host described a legal settlement between Paramount and Trump as a bribe. Trump also celebrated the suspension of Kimmel following comments he made about the assassination of right-wing activist Charlie Kirk. Jimmy Kimmel Live was reinstated by ABC following public outcry. In Thursday's segment, Meyers discussed Trump's rambling speech in which he weaved between the effects of water on magnets and his preference for steam-powered catapults. On and on he went, a truly deranged lunatic, Trump wrote, describing Meyers' description of his own speech. Meyers has yet to respond to Trump's attack, but did post the offending segment in question to social media following the president's outburst. All I can say is, elections have consequences. And in just a few days, there are going to be elections again all over this country. We have to stop this individual now. Because you think he's just coming for someone else's free speech, he may be coming for yours. Like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and you guys, stay frosty on an NFL Sunday.